Hello everyone, welcome to lab practice section of chapter 7. So in this lab practice you are going to apply all the techniques that you learned in chapter 7. Okay, so if you follow along, this is where we were at the end of the lab practice of this food and fitness website last week. So we are going to make it like this. Okay, so we are going to apply the horizontal navigation to vertical navigation, and then we're going to apply a lot of things that we learned, like border radius, all those things. Okay, so let's get started. So we're going to improve the look of the website by adding the elements that we learned in advanced page layout. So let me open up. Okay, so I have opened up all the HTML files and CSS files that we are going to work. So first thing that we are going to change this horizontal navigation to vertical navigation. So what are the things that we have to do for that? First we have to add list elements for that, right? So let's do that. Let's just add the unordered list. We are going to make all the navigation as a list element. Okay, so just add unordered list element. Okay, so you don't need this b tag here. Just make list, just wrap up each element with list element with li tag. Okay, so you're going to wrap up each element with li tag like this. Okay, let's do that for every element. Okay, so just to make the video shorter, I just cut the space, so you can all you need to do is just add ul tag and add each a tag as a list element. Wrap up each a tag like this with list element. Okay, so do that for other elements as well. So just save index.html. You can just copy it to avoid typo errors, all those stuff. You can just copy it and paste it with, make the change for other pages as well. Changing the food page, and then I'm changing the fitness page. Okay, save it. Perfect. So let's check it how it looks. You can see that's what we have done. Okay, so we are going to make our CSS to change so that it will look like we can bring this effect. Okay, now open the CSS. We are going to change our CSS so that we can bring this kind of look for our navigation. Okay, so let's go to CSS. The first thing that we are going to change is floating. It should float to the left side, right? So float to the left side of the main element, and then we want to keep some width for that, right? So you can see I have set the width as 160 pixel. You can see this width I have set it as 160 pixels. So I'm just giving the width value here, and then margin top, that is you can look at the image, there is no margin. Okay, so I just want to set the margin as 0, margin top as 0, and then font weight bold is already there, and then background color you can I'm just deleting that because I'm going to apply the body's background color as the background color for the navigation. You can look at this, it takes the body's background color, the gradient color. So I'm just deleting the background color that I have applied separately for the navigation. And then what else? Padding, line height, we can just delete the line height because it is going to be a vertical navigation. And then padding, we can set some padding around the navigation, like from the current size it is going to be 1.5 size more. Okay, so I think we are good. Let's save this and refresh the page. see the changes. So you can see we have brought the changes. Okay, for the navigation, all we need to do is we have to get rid of this bulletin point. How can we do that? So go to your nav UL tag, right? So in nav UL tag you can just set the text decoration is going to be none. Okay, so here do we have, yeah, here we have the text decoration none, list style type none. So that should be set under the nav UL tag. Okay, so let's just create a new element selector. I'm just going to create a new element selector, nav UL. Okay, so here I'm going to set list style type none. Okay, so just type list style type none, and then margin is going to be 0, and the padding in the left side is going to be 0, because we maintain some padding here, right? But in the left side we don't want the padding. You can see in the left side we don't want the padding, but we want to maintain the padding in other 4 sides. So we can simply say that padding left is 0 for the nav UL, and then font size, we can make the font little bit bigger by saying from the current size make it little bit bigger. Okay, so let's refresh the page and see what is happening. You can see that we are almost there, like we got the same kind of structure. Okay, let's keep move on, let's keep work coding. Okay, so what is the next thing that we have to do? Let's apply this pseudo class thing. So when you hover over this element, it changes the color, right? So let's work on that. So that you have to add the nav element selector as nav A, and then the actual link should be in this color. You can select any color, and then when you hover over it, so for that you have to say hover. Okay, so when you hover over it, it should be in this color, font color. If you want, you can change the background color as well. So I'm just changing the font color. So now a visitor, once you click, how the font should appear. So that's what you see in Google and all. Once you have already visited a particular URL, it will turn into purple color. Okay, so that is because of this a visitor property. So let's save this and refresh the page. So you can see when you hover over it, it just changes the color. Okay, so we did this pseudo class thing, and then you can see I'm aiming to interchange the color. Here the body color is in light purple, and here I have the gradient. I'm planning to interchange it like this. The gradient is going to come to the body, and the viewport is going to have the light purplish gray color. So for that I have to interchange the color values. So you can see this is going to have the gradient color, and the body is going to have the color what we have here, right? So I'm just interchanging the color values. Save and refresh the page, where you can see we have interchanged the colors. Great. Okay, so what else we have to work? So you can see we can see a border over here. We don't have border here, so we have to bring the border to the body. Okay, so go to the body element, where we are going to, not body, it's on cover, deep cover element. So ID, cover ID. So here we are going to add border of a mild border, that is 1 pixel, solid, and then some color value of, I'm just taking the color from the previous colors, 003. Okay, save and refresh the page, where you will see the border. We have obtained the border. Okay, so what are the other things that we have to update. You can see that here this part of the body, that the main element is going to have the white background. So let's add that property. So the background color of white is going to be white, and then there is some overflow property we have to. So you can see that we have set this navigation is going to like 160 pixel. The width of the navigation is 150 pixel, and this padding I have set it as 30 pixel. So we have to move this to here, then only we can have this look, right? So for that we have to set up this margin. We are going to change the margin so that it will move. So we are going to set the margin left is going to be 190 pixels, because the width of the navigation is 160 and the 30 pixel is the padding. So altogether it is 190 pixels. Okay, save, refresh the page, where you can see we're almost there, right? So only few things we have to do. We have to add some padding so that it will match up with this. So let's add some padding left. $30 pixel. Save, refresh the page. Okay, you can see that there is a difference here. Okay, so I'm going to set this background margin left to the same value, that is here we have set the margin left as 190 pixel. So let's do the same thing for this background image as well, so that it will get aligned with this line. Okay, so for that we have to go to each image, and then you have to set margin left with the same value. You can see that the main element has margin left as 190 pixels, so we are going to leave the same value for all other images. That means here and the background image, we want to bring this line to here. Okay, so I have just changed the margin left property of each background image to -60 pixels so that it got aligned. So I tried each different values of margin left so that it got aligned here with this. Okay, so -60 worked for me, so the -60 got aligned with this main element selector. So you can see we are almost there. Okay, so we are somewhere, we achieved all those things except this thing, like in food page and in fitness page I have added a sections, different sections. You can look at this fitness page and fitness page is kind of same. So here I have added a section. So how can we do that? Go to food.html page, where for each DT and DD tag I'm going to add that as a section. Okay, so just wrap up each DT description as a section here like this. Okay, so do the same thing for the next set of questions covering DT and DD. Okay, so I have just added section for each DT and DT tab. You can see this DT and DT and this one and the third DT and DT. Okay, so I have just covered every section. Do the same thing for fitness.html. So you have 3 DT and DT element. Wrap it up with section. So you can see I have done it for both food page and fitness page. And if you refresh the page, you will not see any difference because you have to customize it. You have to customize your section so that it will display like this. Okay, so let's go to the CSS and you have to create a new section, new element called section, where we are going to specify how we want to display our sections. So we want to display in a way that it will be floating. It will be floating one after another, right? So that's what we see here. So it's a normal flow and here it is in floating flow, right? So float left, we are giving float left, and then we have to specify what should be the width. Okay, we can say 35% width. Each of the sections should take 35%, and let's give some space between the two elements. So 2 em of space, and let's give some more padding on the right side. The padding right is going to have 2 em, and the padding left is going to have 2 em. Save this and refresh the page. You can see we have done something, but we have to customize correct our code. Okay, so this is what we have, and we have to adjust our main. So this element is main selected, right? So we have to adjust our main so that it can accompany this. This is the container and this is the content, and we are going to apply the overflow property so that this will fit along with this. So we are going to create an overflow property to handle the situation. So let's go to main element selector, where we are going to apply overflow. So always when it comes to overflow, auto will be the best selection. So we are just setting the overflow value as auto, and then let's check how it gets reflected. So you can see it automatically gets adjusted so that it can accommodate everything. And that it seems like this one, the third one, the section doesn't look good. So let's go and check where we have to correct the food HTML, where you can see the next element I forgot to add this slash, ending slash. That's why it didn't float. Okay, now if you refresh the page, you can see. Okay, so finally since this image looks stretching, what I have done, I have added some more image so that it will overlap with this, so that it will span around this whole background. Okay, so instead of taking other pictures, I just utilize the pictures I have in the folder. For that, what we have to do, go to the index page. So do you see here in image tag, you have like here we have some space, right? So here I'm going to use the image tag to add element. So I'm going to use image tag. Okay, style floating right side of this. That is because here this image tag element this is yoga picture, and this image is named as fitness.jpg. So I want to float it in the right side of this image. So I just kept float right, and I just adjusted the padding so that it can fit along with this section. So I just applied some padding, and then also I adjusted the height and width of the image so that it can get along with this. It can fit with this image bar. Okay, so you can see if you refresh the page, this is what you would see. So I'm going to do the same thing for the food image and the food page and fitness page. Okay, so I'm going to correct my food.html and fitness.html. I'm going to place some images that floats in right side so that it will look like an image bar. Okay, so just change the name of the image. For the foot page, I'm just going to keep the same image to get repeated 2 times. And for the fitness page, I'm going to use fitness.jpg. So if you refresh the page, you can see this this is image tag and this is background image, and here this is yoga image, and then I have overlapped this another image over this that is floating around right side. Okay, perfect. So we have applied whatever we learned in chapter 7 in this, so that we have changed the look of the website by applying the page layout techniques. Okay, so in the next chapter you're going to learn how to make your website mobile friendly. Okay, so all other advanced CSS concept. See you in the next video.